Hello, students. Hello, students. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So today we'll be studying Indian history, modern history of India. Okay. So all of you, please take your pen and paper. Please keep your pen and paper. Today also we will discuss modern history of India, and we'll discuss about governor generals. But before we go and study them elaborately, I'll be asking 20 questions here to all of you. And if you know the answers, you will let me know. Okay? Should I start? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, study material, TCS, TPS Grade-II, TPSC Combined, JRBT, and TET. We are studying modern history of India. So, our topic would be Governor Generals of Bengal. So, here is a set of questions. Please see this and try to answer. Okay. Okay, everyone be attentive. Everyone be attentive here. Suppose the question number 1, important questions on modern history of India. Name the first European company to visit India. Can you answer this?
Portuguese.
Portuguese. Yes, very good. Portuguese were the first European company to visit India. Question number 2. When did Vasco da Gama reach India? When did Vasco da Gama reach?
1498.
Huh?
1498.
Very good. 1498. Vasco da Gama reached the shores of Calicut. Now it is called Kozhikode, India. What was the date? Exact date? Do you know? What was the date? Here it is all. Huh? Beta, what was the date? Here it is right, 1498, and the date was 28th May. You can write it down, 28th May, 1498. So I'd like to repeat this thing once again. When did Vasco da Gama reach India? Vasco da Gama reached the shores of Calicut, now Kozhikode, on 28th May 1498, marking the first successful European sea voyage to India. Question number 3. In which year English East India Company came to India? Okay, answer question number 3. In which year
1600.
English? Huh?
1600.
1600. Very good. Very good. The English East India Company was formed in 1600 and it received a royal charter from Queen Elizabeth I on 31st December 1600. And they came to India in the year 1600 and they came to India for trade. Very good. Question number 4. In which year Danish East India Company came to India?
1660.
1664.
No, 1600. Hello?
64.
No, sir.
1660.
Very good. Very good. The Danish East India Company was chartered in 1616 by King Christian IV of Denmark, and they established the first factory at Ranthambore in Tamil Nadu in 1620. Okay, question number 5. Which is the last European company to come to India? Which is the last European company to come to India?
France.
French.
Hello? France. Very good. Well done. Can you tell me the year? French? The last European company to arrive in India for trade purposes was the French East India Company, established in 1664 during the reign of Louis XIV. Okay, please answer question number 6. Who are called Dutch? who are
Netherlands
called
people.
Dutch.
Sir, those people live in
Netherlands.
Netherlands.
Denmark.
Yeah,
Denmark.
people
Netherlands.
living in Netherlands. The term Dutch is used in English to refer to the people, language, and culture of the Netherlands. Very good. Now, question number 7. The Danish East India Company comprised of 2 countries. Name them.
Netherlands and
The Danish, listen to me. The Danish East India Company comprised of 2 countries. Name them. Can you name the 2 countries? Danish East India Company. Danish East India Company.
so
2
Denmark and
countries.
Norway.
Denmark and Norway. Denmark and Norway is the right answer. The Danish East India Company comprised of 2 countries, and the 2 countries are Denmark and Norway. Very good. Now tell me this. When did Danish come to India? In which year?
1616.
1616.
1616.
Very good. So the Danish East India Company established in 16. Actually, they arrived in 1620, establishing their first factory at Trankavore near Tanjore, and later a settlement at Pirampur near Kolkata. Question number 9. Can you tell me this? Name the European who visited the Mughal court of Jahangir.
Sir, Thomas Rowe.
You say Thomas Rowe?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sir Thomas Rowe, an English diplomat and ambassador of King James I, visited the Mughal court of Jahangir in 1615, seeking a trade agreement. Okay. Question number 10. Captain William Hawkins came in the court of which Mughal emperor? I repeat once again. Captain William Hawkins came in the court of which Mughal emperor?
Jahangir.
Aurangzeb.
Jahangir. Very good. Captain William Hawkins came to the court of Mughal Emperor Jahangir. Which year you know? 1608. Seeking permission to
1608.
establish an English factory at Surat. Okay, tell me this. Question number 11. Who was called English Khan? Who was
Jahangir.
called English Khan?
Jahangir. William Hawkins.
William Hawkins. Very good. Captain William Hawkins, who was very fluent in Turkish, was well received by Jahangir, who also knew the language, and Jahangir even called Hawkins English Khan. Very good. Who was the first governor of Bengal? Repeat it, please.
Warren Hastings.
Robert Clive.
Robert Clive.
See, first
Robert
of all,
Clive.
you listen to me.
Robert
Who
Clive.
was, I asked, who was the first governor of Bengal? I asked you,
Warren
governor of
Hastings.
Bengal. First
Robert
governor of
Hastings.
Bengal.
Robert Clive.
Yes, it is Robert Clive.
Robert Clive.
Okay, you listen to me. The first governor of Bengal was Robert Clive, who served in that position twice, from 1758 to 1760, these 2 years, and again from 1764 to 1767. So don't get confused with this. Robert Clive was the first governor of Bengal. Robert Clive was the first governor of Bengal, and he served twice, from 1758 to 1760, and again from 1764 to 1767. Now, get to the question 30. Who was the first Governor General of Bengal?
Warren
First I
Hastings.
asked Governor of Bengal.
Warren Hastings.
Robert Clive. Robert Clive. Warren Hastings.
Warren Hastings. Better don't get confused. Don't get confused. First Governor of Bengal is Robert Clive, and the first
I told
Governor
that, sir.
General of Bengal is Warren Hastings.
Warren Hastings.
Okay. The first Governor General of Bengal was Warren Hastings, who held the position from 1773 to 1785. First Governor General of Bengal was Warren Hastings, who held the position from 1773 to 1785. Now question number
Regulating
14. Can you answer this?
William
Who was the
Bentinck.
first Governor General of
Lord
India?
Bentinck. Lord Bentinck.
Tell
William
me.
Bentinck. नहीं पता.
Very good. Lord William Bentinck. Very good. First
Chartered
Governor
and
General of India is Lord William Bentinck, and he was the Governor General of India from 1828 to 1835. 1828 to 1835. Now tell me, who was the first Viceroy of India?
So Lord Canning.
Lord Canning.
Lord
Lord
Canning.
Canning. Very good.
Canning.
Charles Canning, also known as Lord Canning, was the first Viceroy of India. He became the Viceroy in 1858, and he was there for 4 long years, 1858 to 1862, after the British Crown took over power from the East India Company. Okay. Question number 16, often asked in different competitive examinations. Who was the founder?
William Jones.
Very good.
William
Who
Jones.
is answering all my questions? Who is the boy answering all my questions?
Sir, Ami.
के बोलो की नाम?
Kaushik.
Kaushik. Very good, beta. Well done. Who was the founder of Asiatic Society of Bengal? Is Asiatic Society of Bengal, scholarly society founded on. When was this Asiatic Society established? Can you tell me the year?
1781.
1784.
It's
1784.
1784. On January 15, 1784 by Sir William Jones, and he was a British lawyer and Orientalist to encourage the Oriental studies in India. Question number 17. Can you tell me this? Who translated Bhagavad Gita into English?
Charles
John
Wilkins.
Wilkins.
Sir Charles Wilkins. Okay, Sir Charles Wilkins. And mention the year. Can you mention the year?
1785.
1749.
1785 is the right answer. Very good. Well done. Who created the post of district collector and district magistrate? Can you tell me?
Cornwallis.
Cornwallis. Lord Cornwallis.
Cornwallis.
No, Cornwallis is wrong.
Warren Hastings.
Warren Hastings. You want to say Warren Hastings? The right answer is Warren Hastings. Very good. The post of district collector, also known as district magistrate, was created by Warren Hastings in 1772 as part of the judicial plan of 1772 in Bengal. Okay, question number 19. Almost all the questions you could answer. Very good.
Sir,
हाँ बोलो.
Lord Cornwallis is known as the father of civil service.
Hello, beta.
Warren Hastings.
Sir, but
Please tell. Lord Cornwallis, what do you want to say? Tell me.
sir, I'm saying that Lord Cornwallis is known as the father of civil service.
Okay. But now, when Lord Cornwallis came, then he started the hierarchical post in civil services. Okay. That is the reason he is called father of civil
Okay.
services in India, Lord Cornwallis. But here the question is, who created the post of district collector and district magistrate? It was Warren Hastings way back in 1772. Got it?
Yes, sir.
As part of the judicial plan of 1772 in Bengal.
1757.
Okay. Who abolished the dual system of administration in Bengal?
Warren Hastings.
Warren Hastings.
Warren Hastings.
Warren
The right
Hastings.
answer. Very good. Very good. Warren Hastings, the first Governor General of Bengal, abolished the dual system of administration in Bengal in 1772, which had been established by Robert Clive. Okay, tell me this. The Battle of Palase was fought
1757.
The Battle of Palase was fought in which year?
1757.
1757 is the right answer.
June 23,
Okay, what was the
1757.
date? But what was the date?
June 23, 23rd
June
June.
23 is the right answer. Very good. So the Battle of Palase was fought in northeastern India on 23rd June 1757. The troops of the British East India Company, led by Robert Clive, came up against the forces of Siraj-ud-Dowla, the last Nawab of Bengal, and his French allies. So that's how all 20 questions been solved. And I'm so happy, I'm so glad that our students could answer each and every question correctly. That's
Sir.
good. Yeah.
Sir, Asiatic Society কাজ কি?
এশিয়াটিক সোসাইটি কাজ হচ্ছে যারা এশিয়ান যারা আমাদের এখন তো ভারতবর্ষে যে এশিয়ান যে কান্ট্রিজ গুলো আছে, most of the Asian countries were the colonies of the British Raj. Could you follow? And
sir.
all the Asians, now suppose the countries like India, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Myanmar, all were the colonies of the British Empire. Could you follow me? So all
sir.
these intellectuals of these Asian countries were grouped together and they formed the Asiatic Society of Bengal. Got it? Got it, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
okay. Okay. Now today we'll be studying very important contribution of Warren Hastings. Okay. All the important contribution of Warren Hastings. We are studying modern history of India from the very beginning. Let me finish these pages. Up to page 1 to 22, we have already given to you. And we'll start from page 23 today. Okay? So I'll keep you all mute. All of you will listen to me. And the later period, I'll ask you questions. And you should be in a position to answer them one by one. Should I start? Okay,
Yes,
all
sir.
mute. Okay, fine. So, first Governor General of Bengal was Warren Hastings, and his tenure was from 1772 to 1785. Now, he ended the dual system of administration. Who banned the dual system of administration? It was Warren Hastings. And who started it? It was Robert Clive. So you see, the dual system of administration in Bengal, established by Robert Clive, was abolished by Warren Hastings in 1772. This is very important. Now, what is this dual system? The dual system of administration implemented in Bengal by Robert Clive in 1765. So, dual system was started in the year 1765, divided governance between the British East India Company, Diwani, revenue collection, and the Nawab of Bengal, Nizamat administration, leading to exploitation and efficiency. So the entire administration was divided into two. The first one, regarding the collection of revenue, it was taken care of by the East India Company, and the administration in general was given in the hands of the kings. That is called the dual system of administration that was started by Robert Clive in the year 1765. Now let's study about the Regulating Act of 1773. Now the Regulating Act of 1773, officially the East India Company Act 1772, was a British parliamentary act aimed at regulating the East India Company's governance in India, addressing issues of mismanagement and corruption, and establishing a more centralized administration. As we know, East India Company came to India in the year 1600. And in the name of trade and business, they came to India, but they started conquering number of places. Okay? Now what happened is, the Regulating Act of 1773, officially the East India Company Act of 1772, the British Parliament took the charge of administration, not completely though. The Rohilla War of 1774. The first Rohilla War of 1773-74 saw the Nawab of Awadh, Shujaudullah, supported by the British East India Company under Warren Hastings, defeat the Rohillas. And Rohillas were the descendants of Afghan Highlanders of Rohilkhand. Now, where is this Rohilkhand? It is there in the northwestern part of Uttar Pradesh, that is centered on the Bareilly and Muradabad divisions. Fifth contribution of Warren Hastings was formation of Supreme Council of Bengal in the year 1774. The Supreme Council of Bengal, also known as Council of Four, was the highest level of executive government in British India from 1774 to 1833, the period in which the East India Company, a private company, exercised political control of British colonies in India. It was formally subordinate to both the East India Company's Court of Directors and to the British Crown. So the formation of Supreme Council of Bengal was in the year 1774. Now page number 24. James Augustus Hickey's Bengal Gazette, first Indian newspaper published in 1780. Often this question is asked. Name the first Indian newspaper. The first Indian newspaper is what? Hickey's Bengal Gazette. James Augustus Hickey was an Irishman who launched the first printed newspaper in India. And the name of the newspaper is Hickey's Bengal Gazette. Very good. Seventh one. The first Anglo-Maratha War in 1775 to 1782 and the Treaty of Sulby in 1782. The Treaty of Sulby, signed on May 17, 1782, ended the first Anglo-Maratha War, restoring the status quo and establishing a period of peace between the British East India Company and the Maratha Confederacy. Now, Second Mysore War, 1780 to 84, 4 long years, the Second Mysore War. We'll talk about first Anglo-Mysore War in the later period, but now you listen to the Second Anglo-Mysore War, 1780 to 1784, was a conflict between the Kingdom of Mysore, led by Hyder Ali, and later his son Tipu Sultan, and the British East India Company, ending in a stalemate with the Treaty of Mangalore, restoring the status quo. Status quo means existing state. And here is the note. The first Anglo-Mysore War fought between 1767 and 1769 before Warren Hastings took over. It was a conflict between the British East India Company and the Kingdom of Mysore, led by Hyder Ali, resulting in a stalemate and the Treaty of Madras, where both sides agreed to restore conquered territories and form a defensive alliance. Okay. Formed Amini Commission 1776. All of you are aware in the Land Settlement Act, there we have one person called Amin. And this Amin came from this Amini Commission, which was formed in the year 1776 by Warren Hastings. The Amini Commission of 1776, established by Governor-General Warren Hastings, was a revenue commission of inquiry tasked with evaluating India's land resources to ensure a fair assessment for the next revenue settlement following the disaster quinquennial settlement. And what is this quinquennial settlement? Quinquennial settlement 1772 to 1777 is a 5-year land settlement replacing the traditional zamindars with the highest bidding revenue speculators concluded by Warren Hastings in 1772. The objects of the experiment were to increase land revenue and collect it punctually. Okay. Let's see page 25. Another contribution of Warren Hastings was he founded the Calcutta Madrasa. Founded Calcutta Madrasa Alia University in the year 1780. It was founded in October 1780 by Governor General Warren Hastings near Shialdo in Calcutta because it was the request. It was the request of some Muslim gentlemen of Calcutta to educate Muslim children in Arabic, Persian, and Muslim law. A number of titles were used for it, such as Islamic College of Calcutta, Calcutta Madrasa, Calcutta Mohammedan College, and Madrasa-e-Alia. Then another contribution of Warren Hastings was creation of collector post, as we had discussed in our question and answer session. The post of district collector, also known as district magistrate, was established in 1772 by Warren Hastings as part of the judicial plan of 1772. Okay, let's see page 26. Now, Supreme Court at Calcutta. This is very, very important. Once again, very, very important for MCQs. The Supreme Court of Judicature at Fort William in Calcutta, later known as the Calcutta High Court, was established in 1774 by the Regulating Act of 1773. So Supreme Court of Calcutta, it came in the year 1774, but later on, the name was changed to Calcutta High Court. So Calcutta High Court came into existence in the year 1774, and it was done by the Regulating Act of 1773. Now, Asiatic Society of Bengal. The Asiatic Society of Bengal, founded to encourage Oriental studies, was established on 15th January 1784 by Sir William Jones in Calcutta, now we call Kolkata. Now, dear students, about Oriental studies, now one would ask me, what do you mean by Oriental study? Oriental studies is the academic study of the languages. Got it? It is the academic study of the languages, cultures, histories, and people of Asia and the Middle East. So what does this Oriental studies study? The history of the Islamic world, the religions of the Orient, the Oriental languages, the literatures of the region, the people of the region, the culture of the region. And mostly we study about the Middle East countries and Asian studies as well. The study of China, especially traditional China, also comes under the Oriental languages or Oriental studies. Now, Asiatic Society of Bengal. The Asiatic Society of Bengal, founded to encourage Oriental studies, was established on 15th January 1784 by Sir William Jones in Calcutta, now Kolkata. So you should remember not only the year, but the date, exact date also. So I repeat once again, the Asiatic Society of Bengal, the Asiatic Society of Bengal was founded to encourage Oriental studies, and this was established on 15th of January 1784 by Sir William Jones in Calcutta. Now, first English translation of Bhagavad Gita. First English translation of Bhagavad Gita. The first English translation of the Bhagavad Gita, titled Bhagavad Gita, or Dialogues of Krishna and Arjuna, was published in 1785 by Charles Wilkins. The name so significant. First English translation of Bhagavad Gita, the first English translation of the Bhagavad Gita, titled Bhagavad Gita, or Dialogue of Krishna and Arjuna, was published in 1785 by Charles Wilkins. Okay, next page. Now, there is another terminology comes as Pitt's India Act 1784. Okay, we studied about the Regulating Act of 1773. Now another act has surfaced, that's called Pitt's India Act 1784. Now what's this Pitt's India Act 1784? The Pitt's India Act of 1784, also known as the East India Company Act 1784, was a British Parliament Act that aimed to address the shortcomings of the Regulating Act of 1773. So Pitt's India Act replaced the Regulating Act of 1773 by establishing a dual system of control over India. See, here again we come across a dual system of control. Now here the dual system of control is quite different from the earlier that we studied, with the British government overseeing the East India Company's political and administrative affairs, while the company retained control of its commercial activities. So the administration to be looked after by the British Parliament and the commercial activities to be looked after by the East India Company. That was called the dual system of control under Pitt's India Act of 1784. Now, the Pitt's India Act of 1784 is named after William Pitt the Younger, who was the British Prime Minister at the time the Act was passed. Now, the question is, why is the Act named after him? The Act, officially known as East India Company Act of 1784, was named after William Pitt the Younger because he was the Prime Minister when the Act was passed by the British Parliament. Who was William Pitt the Younger? He was a prominent British statesman who served the Prime Minister from 1783 to 1801, and again from 1804 to 1806, 2 terms. Now, here is a question being asked in Indian Civil Services. Why Pitt's India Act of 1784 is also known as the half-loaf system? Now, the answer is the Pitt's India Act of 1784, sometimes described as the half-loaf system, as it sought to mediate between Parliament and the company directors, enhanced Parliament's control by establishing the Board of Control, whose members were selected from the British Cabinet. I repeat once again, why Pitt's India Act 1784 is often referred to as half-loaf system. Simple way to understand is how to administer that was given in the hands of the British Parliament, and how to generate revenue that was left to the East India Company. So the Pitt's India Act of 1784, sometimes described as the half-loaf system, as it sought to mediate between Parliament and the company directors, enhanced Parliament's control by establishing the Board of Control, whose members were selected from the British Cabinet. Okay. Next. Next page. Okay. Now, experimentation on land settlements. Experimentation on land settlements. Warren Hastings began leasing land for tax collection on an annual basis in 1772. Later, land settlement was done through the auction for 5 years. As a result, this settlement is also known as the 5-year settlement. So, Warren Hastings also started experimenting on land settlements. Moved treasury from Murshidabad to Calcutta. According to the Regulating Act 1773, Warren Hastings, the then Governor of Bengal, was appointed as Governor-General of Bengal, and he abolished dual government. He made Calcutta as his capital. Who made Calcutta the capital was Warren Hastings, and he shifted treasury of the company from Murshidabad to Kolkata. Now, here is a point 18 is very, very important, marked entirely blue. The first Governor General of Bengal, Warren Hastings, was prosecuted for impeachment as a consequence of his involvement in first Rohilla War. I repeat once again. The first Governor General of Bengal, Lord Warren Hastings, was prosecuted for impeachment as a consequence of his involvement in First Rohilla War. Okay, let's see the next page. Now, Warren Hastings also abolished Dastak system. Now, what is this Dastak? You see, whenever you pat on the door that you have come like this, Dastak. Okay, abolished Dastak system, which was introduced by Robert Clive. The Dastak system refers to a trade permit issued by the East India Company's officials exempting traders from customs or transit duties, which was a privilege granted by the Mughal Emperor Farrukh Shah. Now, what is the origin and purpose of the Dastak system? The Dastak system originated in the 18th century in Bengal and was a trade permit issued by the East India Company officials to European traders, primarily those associated with the East India Company. And what were the privileges and abuse? The Mughal Emperor Farrukh Shah granted the power to issue these permits to company officials, allowing them to trade without paying customs or transit duties. They could do all sorts of business without paying any customs or transit duties. And what was the impact? In the Dastak system, the British East India Company was able to trade without paying taxes, while local traders were forced to pay. I repeat once again, what was the impact? In the Dastak system, the British East India Company was able to trade without paying taxes, while local traders were forced to pay. And it was abolished by Warren Hastings. The practice of using Dastaks for almost any goods was consolidated by Robert Clive. Free Dastaks for private trade were finally abolished by Warren Hastings, Governor of Bengal, in the year 1775. Rather, I should say, Governor General of Bengal in the year 1775. So this is how we could complete the entire contribution of Warren Hastings during his tenure from 1772 to 1785. Okay. Now I'll discuss few things with you. You have any questions, you can better ask me. Okay, sir. All of you.
Sir, can you please show the slides from the first slide?
Okay, slide I will send it in the WhatsApp group, beta. No issue in that regard.
Okay, sir.
Okay, beta. I will surely do it. I'll surely. You could understand what I wanted to mean today?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Sure,
sir.
all of you. So
Yes,
within a short span of time, I'll be sending the entire study material of whatever we have discussed today. Also, the 20 questions, and you must have noted the answer of those 20 questions. And I am doing it in small bits so that our students, our loving students, our cordial students learn even Indian history, because this we require to appear all the competitive examinations to follow. That's modern history of India. So let me ask you once again. Let's see all the 20 questions once again. So let us revise ourselves. Okay, be there with me. So tell me, name the first European company to visit India. All of you. Portuguese. Okay, when did Vasco da Gama reach India? You tell me the exact date.
20th May
28 May 1498. Okay, you tell me this. In which year English East India Company came to India? Which year?
1600.
1600. Okay, that's good.
December.
Okay. Now, the 31st December, they got the consent, and then immediately they reached. Okay. They had to come here with the permission of Queen Elizabeth I. In which year Danish East India Company came to India? Which year?
1660.
1660. Which is the last European company to come to India?
French.
French.
French. Very good. Which year? Which year?
1664.
1664. Who are called Dutch?
The people of
The
Netherlands.
people of Netherlands. The Danish East India Company comprised of two countries. Name them.
Denmark and Norway.
Denmark and Norway. Very good. When did Danish come to India? Which year?
1616.
1660. Name the European who visited the Mughal court of Jahangir.
Thomas Rowe.
Thomas Rowe. Which year? Thomas Rowe visited the court of Jahangir in which year? Hello? Thomas Rowe visited the court of Jahangir in which year?
1615.
1615. And which year William Hawkins did visit Mughal Emperor Jahangir? 1608. You remember this. Captain William Hawkins came in the court of which Mughal Emperor?
Jahangir.
Jahangir. Okay. Who was called English Khan?
William Hawkins.
Captain William
Captain
Hawkins.
William Hawkins. Very good. Who was the first governor of Bengal? Tell me now.
Robert Clive.
Robert Clive. Robert Clive. Okay. What was his tenure? Can you tell me what was his tenure?
1758 to 1760. First
1758 to 1760. Very good.
1764 to 1767.
67. Very good. The first governor of Bengal was Robert Clive, who served in that position twice, from 1758 to 1760, and again from 1764 to 1767. Okay. Who was the first Governor General of Bengal?
Warren Hastings.
Warren Hastings. What was his tenure? His tenure? What was his
17
tenure?
1772 to 1785.
Again, repeat once again.
1772 to 1780.
No, it was 1773. 1773 to 1785. Okay. Who was the first Governor General of India?
Lord William Bentinck.
Which year? From which year to
From
which year?
1828 to 1835.
Very good. Who was the first Viceroy of India?
Lord
Lord
Canning.
What was his tenure?
1858 to 1862.
Okay, very good. Who was the founder of Asiatic Society of Bengal?
Sir William Jones.
Sir William Jones. Okay, tell me the date.
January 15, 1784.
January 15, 1784 is the right answer. Who translated Bhagavad Gita into English? Sir Charles Wilkins. Sir Charles Wilkins. Which year? Which year? 1785. Who created the post of district collector and district magistrate?
Warren Hastings.
Warren Hastings. Which year? Which year?
1772.
1772.
1772. And who abolished the dual system of administration in Bengal?
Warren Hastings.
Okay, which year?
1772.
Okay, last one. The Battle of Palase was fought in which year?
3rd June 1757.
Yeah, the Battle of Palase was fought in northeastern India on 23rd June 1757. And about Battle of Palase, we will study about the black hole tragedy in our next class. So, dear students, you got today's concepts on Indian history.
Yes, sir.
The topics were quite few, but I wish all of you learn them.